So here's our next Fast 5 SAT prep video, and it's going to be covering quadratic equations primarily. So I already recorded this once and I had to delete it because it was too short. It was only 3 minutes. So let's cover a couple of equations. So our quadratic equation in standard form, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. The standard form, not very exciting. Vertex form, a little better. X minus h squared plus k. That's the one where you can see how it's shifted. And then remember the quadratic formula that you can solve. Any quadratic with is negative b plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now if you want to use any of those formulas, that's awesome. You got to have them memorized, so keep that in mind. This question here says, what's the solution for a if a is greater than 0? So remember, when you solve a quadratic, you typically get two solutions. In this case, apparently one of them is negative and one of them is positive. Your job is to find the positive solution. I love factoring, so if I can, I'm going to factor it, and this one factors real nicely. X and x multiplies to negative 12, adds up to positive 1. That would be an x plus 4 and an x minus 3. But you're not done, children. You got to solve. So if you solve this factor, x plus 4 equals 0 would give you x equals negative 4. And if you solve this factor, you get x equals 3. But remember, they only want the positive solution. So this is a no calculator gridded response question. You knock out that question, that answer. This is the one you want, so you bubble in 3 as your solution. This question is also on the no calculator, but this time it's the multiple choice one. So a lot of you try to just graph these to solve them, and that's cool, but this is a no calculator question. So I notice everything in that equation can be divided by 4. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to divide everything by a 4. And I get x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0. Much simpler one to factor. Why not make your life easier? Let's see here. X and x multiplies to negative 3, adds up to positive 1. I'm thinking x minus 3 and x plus 1, but you're not done. I need the solutions to this. So x equals positive 3 is my solution, and x equals negative 1 is my other solution. Now be careful. Look how mean they are. Oh gosh. Concentrate, Abruzzo. Right here. Choice B. Negative 1 and positive 3. Any order. Just got to make sure that you're actually circling the right answer. That was really nasty of them. My goodness. They need a Snickers or something. All right. Y equals x squared minus a. A is a positive constant. Okay. And there's a whole bunch of information about it being on the coordinate plane. And they want to know which of these is equivalent to this one. Well, these all seem to be like factored. So what if I just kind of FOIL or distribute this back together and I see what I end up with? So x times x is x squared. Negative xa, positive xa, those cancel. And then negative a times positive a is negative a squared. Well, that is not at all what we have at the original problem, so that one's gone. Let's try foiling this one out. I get x squared again, and then negative square root of a plus positive square root of ax. Okay, those cancel. The middle cancels again. And then I get a negative square root of a times square root of a would be a. I think we found our winner, guys. That matches. The choice is B. Now you can keep going if you want, but I only have 5 minutes, so I'm not going to keep going. All right, this question. They give you this parabola, this random parabola, that looks like this, with vertex at 0, c. Boom. And it hasn't been shifted at all, and they're claiming that the a value, the thing that makes it skinnier or wider, is just a positive a value. So then it says, well, what if we introduce you to this new equation, where now I negate the a, I throw a negative in front, and then I have this x minus b business squared plus c. So let's start talking about this negative a value in front. Remember, when there's a negative in front of your polynomial, that reflects it over the x-axis. So this parabola, instead of opening upwards, is now going to open downwards. So this is gone, and that's gone. So I'm narrowed down to b or d. All right, let's keep going. So the difference between b and d is where the vertex would be located. So somewhere in the back of your brain, you should have some trigger going, okay, when stuff is in parentheses like this, it's always the opposite, right? When it was x minus 3, that really meant right 3. And that was true for pretty much everything we ever learned. So in parentheses, you have to think opposite terms. So when it says x minus b, that means the vertex is actually at a positive b, comma c. So our answer is B. Perfect, Abruzzo. Nearly 5 minutes. Good luck. Go ahead and watch the next Fast 5.